What's going on YouTube? So the time is now 11 o'clock. I'm just getting back from the supply store. I had to pick up some thermal for some small orders that I'm knocking out. I have a few different orders I need to get out today, so let's get right into it.
What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another edition of King Print, where I cover all things screen printing. Now before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe and click the link in my description for low price screen print supplies from Amazon. Now let's get right into the video. Now I get a lot of people who are fairly new to screen printing watching my videos, and a lot of times the question that will come up is how much money can I really make screen printing, and what do I have to do to make that amount of money? So I decided to make this video here to show you just the average day screen printing. Not a good day, not a bad day, just an average day screen printing. And this day here, average, I made $400. So that's pretty much, I mean, depending in your area and how much you hustle, but that's how much I make average. I have another video, make $200 an hour screen printing. I'll show you how I do that. I have another video, make $900 a day screen printing. Show you how I did that. But those are, you know, those are going to be not everyday thing. You can do it, but the thing is it's going to be real time consuming, and it's going to be if you don't have like a good team in place, it's going to be next to impossible to achieve that $900 every single day. But like I said, here I made $400 a day, and that's going to be net, not gross. So I have a few different orders here that I'm knocking out, and nowadays you really have to do more with less. So on this day here, I'm actually doing an order that's shipping out. I have a local order here in town. I have some single shirts that are going out, and then I have some jackets that are going out. So right here you can see packing up some eBay orders, single shirts. I sell parody shirts on eBay. If that's something you might want to be getting into, you might want to think twice about that, because now is really not the right time to get into it. As you can see, all that stuff I was packing there, if it was a year ago, it'd be 4 times that amount. I don't know what it is with eBay, but they seem to be in a rapid decline. I really don't know what it is. I mean, Amazon's really comping them out with the merch by Amazon and, you know, all that type of stuff. But yeah, eBay, they're changing their platform. They're implementing a lot of new rules. It's turning a lot of sellers off. eBay is still a huge market, but as far as like t-shirts and stuff like that goes, you know, it's slowly, for me anyway, it's declining. A lot of people that I've talked to that do the same thing, they tell me the same thing. So, you know, they're moving on to different platforms like merch by Amazon, Etsy, Teespring, stuff like that. Like I said earlier, you have to do more with less. When I had my shop, I was just doing local orders. I wasn't concentrating on anything else. Here you have to do, you know, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. Like I said, I do parody shirts online. I also have a few different websites that I sell my shirts off of. I started doing the merch by Amazon. This order here is an order I sold off of one of my websites. It's an order that's going out of state. So is another jacket order I have. It's another order that's going out of state. And then I have only one local order that I'm doing on this day. So that's another little tip there. If you see that ink on the bottom of the screen, you put more ink on the bottom. You don't want to overload your actual image itself, because it gets real messy. So if you're doing a big run, you're gonna throw ink on where you're actually screening, and then you're gonna put some ink in the bottom of that, so you don't have to come back and keep loading it with ink and ink and ink. You have more ink there, you just pick up that ink and you keep rolling. So you see those are done there. Those came out real clean. The customer really liked the way those came out. Putting those to the side and getting them ready to ship in a minute.
All right, so I just got a contract order in. I need to put an invoice together and get this sent out. All right, I just did the math on this. This is a $350 order.
See, so right there, I'm going about my day. I didn't even have to talk to nobody. This contract order just came in. They just text me, hey, I need these. All right, this is how much it's gonna be. You know, give me this down. They'll send it to me through PayPal or whatever. And we just keep it moving. We don't have a long consultation about it, which is great. And if you have the right customer base in place, you don't need to open a shop. You can work from home and make some good money. If you're thinking about opening a shop, I don't know, I wouldn't say I'd be against it, but you can make a lot of money without opening a shop. But if you want to grow and, you know, you want to make an actual, like a big business out of it, by all means, but you have to start somewhere. And I'd say, you know, you start at home. Don't jump right into a shop. And if you've been doing it for a while and you think, okay, well now, you know, the next logical step is to open up a shop. I don't think I'd ever open up a shop anymore, just because the overhead is so crazy There's so many people doing it out their house that, you know, you're not gonna be able to beat the prices because you gotta charge overhead in your shop, because now you got employees, now you got you know, you got a lease, you got, you know, everything that goes along with it. So you have to actually charge more, and there's gonna be that guy that's doing it out their garage that can charge, you know, $2 less a shirt or whatever it is, and they're gonna beat you every time. So you're gonna have that headache of every day you have to hit a certain mark of what you need to sell, just to pay all your bills, you know, just to pay your shop expenses, not even your home expenses, none of that. So I mean, I did that for 10 years, and once I closed the shop and started doing it out the house, it was like a huge weight just lifted off me. I'm actually doing less as far as like work wise, but the money is almost about the same just because I don't have that huge payment. I had like $8,000 worth of just shop, and that's not just the lease, that's everything that goes with it. Like I said, employees, light, whatever. So I had to make $8 grand a month just in the shop, and then I still had to make money for my family to eat, you know. So it just, man, that was just a huge weight lifted off my shoulders when I didn't have to do that anymore. Now this order here, I kind of fast forwarded through all the weeding and everything I was doing, but man, it took a long time weeding everything out. It took a good 3 hours getting everything weeded out, getting everything separated. Some stuff didn't cut out, so I had to go back in there and cut it again. And the customer was real happy with these when he got them, because when I was explaining to him that I was gonna do it in thermal, he really didn't know what I was talking about. So when he received them, I received a pretty nice email from the customer, you know, stating that he was really happy with them. So this order here is a out-of-state order that I did. This one I could have done screen, but I just don't like the way ink looks on nylon. It just never comes out right. And there's like a additive you can put for the nylon. It makes the ink thicker so it doesn't bleed, because that nylon bleeds real bad. So you got to really work with it too quick, and sometimes that ink gets stuck, it gets blocked in the screen, and forget it, I don't even want to mess with it. So I just decided to do it thermal. You know, it looks better anyway. So I cut everything here in pieces rather than just one big sheet of the image, because it saves a lot of thermal, and you can do it, you know, you can size it a little bit bigger. The actual thermal is 15 inches in height, so you can only go 15 inches. So I wanted it to be, you know, a lot bigger than that. So in order to achieve that without wasting a lot of material, I'd have to cut it in pieces like I did here, and then I could just spread it out. So I wouldn't waste a lot of material, so I wouldn't waste, you know, all that money in the material. And I think it turned out pretty good. And again, all this little tedious work right here is kind of crazy. What that was like a little Nintendo controller. You got to get all the little parts out. And at the same time you're printing, you're getting texts, you're getting calls, messages from all the social media sites. If, you know, it's a two-man operation, I suggest, you know, one person handles all the customer service and one person handles all the production, because sometimes you can be running around like a chicken without a head. You don't remember who you talked to about what. This person calls you back like, hey, yeah, I'm ready to do the order. And you're like, all right, great. What order are we talking about? You know, just stuff like that. Sometimes you can't get to the phone because an order has to go out, you know, right then and there. And, you know, you lose a customer, you lose the order because you didn't answer the phone. So it's always better, you know, if you can have somebody that is going to handle all that stuff, you know, all the promotions, all the ads, everything you're running. I highly suggest, you know, having somebody that's going to just do that, just handle that, because that's just as important as a production. Because me personally, a lot of times when I'm running production, especially on a big run, kind of zone out. You know, you have to kind of just get in there and do it. I really don't like to be bothered as far as like customers and messages and stuff, so I'll just put them aside a lot of times. And like I said, sometimes you lose a customer, sometimes, you know, you don't get back to them in time and, you know, they go with somebody else. That's just part of the game. But like I said, sometimes when I'm just doing a big run or I'm just in the zone, I don't bother with any of that. So right here, I don't know if you can see it that well, the image kind of crunched up a little bit after I give it that initial press. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to try to iron it out. So I give it a few seconds of press, and then once I lift it up, I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with the towel just to iron it out a little bit and make sure it doesn't crunch all the way back up. And this customer here is actually a return customer that I've done work for about a year, maybe a little bit more.
you know, done their hoodies, their, you know, company t-shirts, a lot of different things. And when you can develop, you know, that relationship with the customer to where they feel comfortable with you as far as just telling you what they want and not really having to go through that big consultation and not being, I don't want to say scared, but be hesitant to give you their credit card info or to send you payment. Once that customer gets through that initial hesitation as far as sending you payment, which, you know, they really don't know your company or your background or anything like that. So sometimes they'll be hesitant to send you payment just because of that. But once you develop that relationship and, you know, you ship them their first order, second order, they have no problem with just texting you the order. You know, you give them the price, they send you payment in full. With my contract customers, I just require half down, but everybody else, my regular customers, I require payment in full. You know, once you get that relationship going, you know, they have no problem sending it to you, and it makes your job that much easier. All right, so I'm just getting back from dinner. Just got to button up one more thing here, then I'm done for the night.
Now this order here, it was for 4 shirts. This was a local order, something I didn't want to do just because it was only 4 shirts. But I threw a big number at them and they said, all right, fine. That's another thing I suggested. There's orders that you're like, oh man, it's not worth it. It's not going to be worth it. Just throw a big number at them. What's the worst they can say? All right, thanks anyway. You know, they don't want to do it. All right, fine. But I think on these right here, 4 shirts, I netted about $100 because I charged them, I believe, $35 per shirt because it was only 4. And at the same time, you're not just going to tell them, all right, well, it's $35 a shirt. You have to express to them, look, it's only 4 shirts. There's a screen fee of $35 a screen, but I'm going to waive that screen fee. So you have front and back, and then you have long sleeves, and then you have sleeve print. What I'll do is I'll just go ahead and charge you $35 a shirt. And, you know, they just get all these figures in their head and they're like, okay, fine. You're not just gonna say, all right, well, 4 shirts, $35. Because they're gonna say, nah, that seems too high. But if you tell them why you're charging that, and they're like, okay, yeah, that seems reasonable. You're not just trying to poke my eyes or nothing, because it is a lot of work just to do 4 shirts. But yeah, I netted $100 off those 4 shirts, which is not bad. Yeah, so to summarize here, average day, about $400. A bad day, I'd say, is about 100. A good day, maybe 800. A great day, 1,000. And I'm always looking for different ways to increase revenue, to make more money. My goal is to make $1,000 a day, every day. On a bad day, we'll see how that goes. I know that's not gonna happen just through screen printing alone, so I'm always looking for different avenues and different ways to make that happen. And I will be posting here along the way if I find anything else that is gonna make that money, that will make extra money that you can do as a side hustle. So look out for all those videos. Again, guys, thanks for watching. I know this video was kind of long. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll check you on the next one.